Dallas has dealt with their fair share of playoff misery. The Mavs are down 0-3 in the NBA Finals, an obstacle no team in NBA history has been able to overcome. Meanwhile, their neighborhood friends, the Cowboys, they had a disappointing end to their title run, exiting in the wild card round, losing to Green Bay 48-32 in the young gun Jordan Love. All right, SA. Ladies' night right now. I'm just wondering, what's the bigger disappointment to you? The Mavs finals performance or the Cowboys playoff exit versus the Packers?
Interesting. I would have to say the Mavs. I would have to say the Mavs are more disappointing. First of all, I don't enjoy watching the Mavs suffer. I have no problem with watching Cowboy fans suffer. So, I mean, that's number one. Let's get that out the way. Number two, I had expectations. I had expectations for the Dallas Mavericks. I had very little expectations for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's number two. Number three, the Dallas Mavericks, last time they won the championship was 2011. Last time the Dallas Cowboys won the championship was 1995. And so we have to understand that there's a level of regularity that has kicked in, where you don't expect but so much from the Dallas Cowboys. For example, the Dallas Cowboys this offseason hasn't really done much. We're waiting for CeeDee Lamb to get paid. We're seeing what's going to happen with Dak Prescott. We're wondering about Micah Parsons. Meanwhile, Kimberly, as you well know, the Philadelphia Eagles got Saquon Barkley. The Washington Commanders, not the Commodores, the Commanders, they have their Dallas's former defensive coordinator in Dan Quinn. You look at Green Bay. They're not going anywhere. Detroit was in the NFC Championship game. They're not going anywhere. The Chicago Bears got Caleb Williams and stuff like that. So they're on the come up. San Francisco's not going anywhere. Even in Atlanta, there's been some improvement. Now they've got Kirk Cousins. And so you just look at the landscape in the NFC, and then you look at the Cowboys, and it's like, okay, this is another reason not to expect much from them this year. Whereas with the Dallas Mavericks, you looked at Kyrie and Luka, and you were like, damn, they could do some things. This could be special. So the disappointment in the level of dominance that the Boston Celtics have put on display is clearly more conspicuous and profound than the expected ineptitude of the Dallas Cowboys. Flourish.
You know what's funny? And because Steven didn't point this out, this is the first time Andraya and I have ever been on set together. So I'm glad we're having this conversation now. I'm glad we're all together. I'm actually, Andraya, I'm very disappointed in Steven. You know why? Because everything he said was everything I thought when I first heard Steven. When was the last time?
$9 billion. $9 billion.
Okay, when was the last time this team made a Super Bowl appearance? Honestly, I don't even know if Andraya was alive. Let's be very clear here.
When was it?
It just 95, 95, 96.
I was 2.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, just because
you were 2.
Wow. I don't even want to touch it, but just because we're used to them falling short doesn't make it okay. Every year, Jerry Jones talks about, I'm itching, I got to make it. The man is 80-something years old. And we have come to expect the Dallas Cowboys to fall short. And that just because we expect it we shouldn't allow that to happen. Dak Prescott is 2-5 in the playoffs. And this man is going to make $60-some million. Like that, again, it's not okay. And the fact that the Dallas Mavericks, right now, we're disappointed because we expect them not to get swept. We expect Luka and Kyrie to show up and to win games together. We expect Luka not to be on the bench when the game is on the line. But still, Steven, I'm surprised at you for everything you say about the Cowboys to let them off the hook here, because it is clear that they are more disappointing in a major, major way playing in the division that they play in as well.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be the tiebreaker.
Go ahead, Andre.
I'll be the tiebreak because I looked up ESPN's power rankings for preseason football last season, and Dallas was power ranking. They were 7th. 7th is a good spot to be. If you think about where the Celtics were before the trade deadline and the fact that they put this team together at the trade deadline, this is.
You mean the Mavs? You mean the Mavs?
I mean the Mavs. The Mavs. Yeah.
You mean the Mavs? Right.
When we think about the Mavs, where they were before the trade deadline, They put this team together at the trade deadline, and this team makes a run to the finals.
They're in the finals, girl.
They're in the finals. And this is like the run that Kyrie and Luka are having and the run that they have had. Yes, they've fallen short in the finals, but they're still in the finals. They have pieces to figure out in the offseason. Other players have to step up, but they have pieces that they can build around. And again, they're in the finals. Like the fact that they got here after the trade deadline with new additions and they found a way to put the pieces together, that is something to be celebrated. It's hard right now because they're getting the brakes beat off of them by Boston. I know it's hard to see it right now. And Stephen A., to be honest, I think you're just a little cut because you picked the Mavs to win the series.
A little bit.
I think you're just a little cut because you picked the Mavs to win the series. So this hurts a little bit more.
It stings.
Which I get it. I picked them too.
Look at your face.
I get it.
First of all, that's not true. That's not true because none of this hurts me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my summer begins earlier. I'm good, okay? None of this hurts me, okay? That's number one. Number two, it's all about where your lines are drawn. I'm looking at it from the standpoint that I don't expect much from the Cowboys.
But that
I expected more. I expected more from the Mavs because I know, Kimberly, because being the exceptional NFL reporter that you are, you've been preoccupied with some NFL stuff going on, and you might have missed. All of us were raving about Kyrie and Luka and what they were going to bring to the table. I recall that lady in orange right there, Andraya Carter, picking the Dallas Mavericks too. She left that out, Kimberly. She picked the Mavs too.
I picked them.
I'm saying, how come I'm going to be salty, but you not?
Because you just said the Mavs were more disappointing. I'm not saying the Mavs are more disappointing.
But it's a fact that they are because we didn't expect much from the Cowboys. You expected the Dallas Mavericks coming into these finals. Last but not least, here's the last point. I have to confess this to you, Kimberly. I couldn't wait to. I can't keep this from the ladies. I just can't keep this from y'all. You know. As I'm down here in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? I got to have a little extra security around stuff like that because I'm in Dallas, I'm in Dallas. And the people, they try to hide how much they love me, you know what I'm saying? But they do love me. But, you got some people that might go a little off kilter, and I got security to handle them. But my point is this. I reached out to Jerry Jones and them. You know what I'm saying? Me and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, we supposed to go for our drinks, Kimberly. They weren't available. You know what I'm saying? You know why they weren't available? Because the pressure with Dallas Mavericks being in the finals mounted. So if you're right about something with me on the Mavs, Andraya and Kimberly, here's what you missed. If the Dallas Mavericks had won, it would be even more pressure on the Cowboys, which really would have pleased me because we knew they would respond to it. You see what I'm saying? So the Dallas Mavs missed an opportunity to really, really have more pressure applied to the Dallas Cowboys. That's what I'm really salty about. That is what I'm really salty about. More so than anything else, I must say.
Stephen A., could I
just want to throw that out.
Could I ask you one question?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Brandy, sorry, I'm going to do
what my colors on? What my colors on? What my colors on? But that's all
Brandy,
right.
will you put Stephen A. up with me when I ask him this question? S.A., if we're looking at these two playoff scenarios, how the Cowboys finish their season and potentially the Mavs now in the finals on the verge potentially of getting swept, which team exceeded expectations in their postseason run?
Which team had expectations in their postseason run?
No,
Which
team
team exceeded their expectations in the postseason run?
Of course the Dallas Mavericks exceeded expectations.
Okay.
Of course the Dallas Mavericks exceeded expectations.
So,
everybody knew the Cowboys was going to lose.
One more question.
Everybody knew the Cowboys was going to lose.
One more question for you. And who underperformed? Who got beat by Jordan Love?
Who underperformed? Yeah,
his first year as a starter.
That would be the Dallas Cowboys.
Fascinating, Molly. That is a wonderful point that you're raising because I don't think Stephen's really grasping.
What's the point? I don't.
Stephen A., the point is I just made the argument.
I'm not grasping it. I'm not grasping it.
Stephen A.,
we see that. We see that. We see.
What's the point?
Stephen A., you just contradicted yourself in terms of more disappointing run. The more disappointing run is clearly the Cowboys.
Yeah. But Molly, you didn't ask the question right. You're talking about the more disappointing for the public.
Not
Not Stephen A. acting like Luka.
I'm not more
Everybody
disappointed.
else.
I'm not more
Stephen A,
disappointed.
do
I
me
mean,
a
you're
favor.
asking me.
Stephen A,
I'm not more disappointed.
Stephen A, you should probably have someone on your podcast later to talk about how I can ask better questions.
Yeah,
That would probably settle all of this.
Yeah, get some ladies on your
Really?
podcast, Steve.
Really?
get some ladies
more
on the
disappointed?
podcast.
Do that.
Am
Do that.
I more First of all, Andrea's already been on. Kimberly's coming on. You will never be on. I would never bring you on my podcast. Never.
Yes.
An enemy has been defeated. An enemy has been defeated.
Chào mừng đến với Bình Nguyên Vô Tận. Cả đội xông lên.
First blood. Double kill.
Will watch over you.
Chạy đâu chạy You have defeated an enemy. An ally has been defeated. You have defeated an enemy. Ultimate. ally has been defeated.
Chạy đâu cho thoát.
Onslaught.
Justice will always prevail.
Lại đây nào.
Ultimate.
Go on Dream Mountain, and the reunion with my master.
Your team has destroyed a tower. Dominating.
Chào mừng đến với Bình Nguyên Vô Tận. Cả đội xông lên.